I also look at now. I also did research on people of different, about 20 plus participants, males of different ages, different academic background, and also females. And most of them have one thing, say one thing, not in the same way, but that Induku and handing cattle had a very profound influence in their lives. Some of them had men, counselors, while some were foremen without having formal education, foremen at places where they were working. You know, they give examples that show that being a head boy and playing Induku helped them. Like, for example, they even mention courage, being popular to women, you know, they being chosen to be headmen and also tribal police because, you know, they were head boys and all that. And as a way of going further back now, years back, I look at my Tagazelo to find out what is it in my Tagazelo that is related with Induku and how these develop and all. This has also led me to go back into my genealogy about 23 generations from now, where I come from and who was my, I've gone as far as that because of this research. And another thing too that I write about my experiences, my hard time, losing my parents, my brother, and whatever, which means this research did not only help me in finding something about Induku, but it has also helped to find myself and also be able to, in fact, I realized that I was supposed to have gone to a psychiatrist or psychologist after the death, immediate death in the family. But my writing the thesis has helped me to what? It has become a healing process. Right. And to look at I've now looked at, as I said, I have participants whom I believe have had a chance to go to school. But I went back to people who never had formal education. I took Isbonge of the Zulu chiefs, the people like the Zulu king, Shaka, Jama, people like Kondlo, Pagatwayo, Ntuli, but I took one particular person that is Ndlela Sompis, one of the warriors who, even today when you may even ask anyone, maybe they'll know about Ndlela Sompis, his bravery and all that. His Isibongo praise poems show bravery, loyalty, honesty. You may mention all these qualities that are, or attributes that are essential for a better personality. They are found in that. And I looked at that, analyzed, maybe took 2 lines from each of these praise poems, analyzed them to show that even though these people did not have formal education, but they performed Induku and also were head boys, but these people had great personality. If, for example, we look at what, I'm just taking, there's a good small example of, when you look at what Napoleon did, if you understand well, if you still remember, and what Shaka did, they were different places during the same time, but their way of leadership was almost the same. But because of the mispresentation of our history, because of colonization, then you'll find that things are not put as are supposed to be. I also look at the life of people in Port Shepstone, where I grew up, in my area, my family life, how the apartheid era had an influence in their life, and actually what had a negative influence in their life. Therefore, what resulting into a personality that was not supposed to be what it was, because of the way they were. I mean, talk of Group Areas Act, moving people from one area to the other, job preservation, and many other laws which were repressive and also had an effect on people's personality. And I haven't yet finished this, but finally I'm looking at what Juice says, Laban, Smarts, and Sprague. Those are the 4 theories. When I look at this and look at what I'm doing, and like for example, Juice talks about the seminal theory of learning. Laban talks about movement, and Smarts talk about holism, and Sprague looks at martial arts as the application of physical science, or physics and mechanics in martial arts. And my question was, these people are talking about the same thing. They're talking about personality using different perspectives, or they're talking about performance using different words. So I've come to a conclusion that, in fact, in whatever we're doing, we are just talking about performance, but we are using different words or different languages. It could be physics or whatever, but we're just talking about performance. In this case, I would say these performances, no matter how subtle they might be, they are personality developing personalities. And then ultimately, I have written, but even in a very raw stage, life orientation curriculum for grade 10, 11, and 12, where I analyze what career opportunities, maybe life-enhancing things can be attained if Induku is being taught in that school. So I'm looking at what Induku gives to people, which could be used in their life. Though I don't make a comparison between Induku and karate, because when I started doing that, I found that it was not going to be right. But because I did Induku and also in karate, I know karate very well. I discovered later, after some time, that these 2 performances were just similar. Only thing, one was Japanese, the other one is what come from the Zulu culture. But they are performances that are personality building personalities. But having heard what you said now, my biggest challenge is that I know what I'm doing. But the problem, when I'm supposed to write it down, I don't know what happens. It is so difficult to write it down the way I feel. I would say I'm passionate about it, but when I see what I write, the passion is not found in paper. I don't know whether it's because I am, I would say, because of multidimensional, or others, because I am what I am, and I believe I have life. But this paper kills that life when I write that. And it has been my also concern in my master's, that writing kills, or rather the performance, all the life that is found in what you want to do in the performance. I don't know whether I've said all that I wanted to say. If I haven't, pardon me.